The sun shone brightly. Birds sang sweetly. It was a beautiful day. Lily and Tom were playing in the meadow. "Let's fly our kite," said Lily. Tom ran with the kite. Up it soared, high in the sky. "Whee!" shouted Tom. "It's so high!" Suddenly the wind blew stronger. The kite string slipped from Tom's hand. The kite danced in the wind, its vibrant colors shimmering against the bright blue sky. It was a perfect day for flying kites, with a gentle breeze that seemed to lift the spirits of everyone around. The children laughed and cheered as they watched their kite soar higher and higher, feeling a sense of freedom and joy that only a day like this could bring. Higher and higher it flew, almost touching the clouds. "Oh no!" cried Lily, her voice filled with panic as she watched the kite drift further away from their control. The string slipped through her fingers and she could feel her heart race. The other kids gathered around, their eyes wide with concern as they pointed at the kite, now just a small dot in the vast sky. "Our kite is flying away!" Lily shouted, her feet already moving as she began to chase after it. The other children followed, their laughter replaced by worried cries. They ran through the meadow, their eyes fixed on the kite that seemed to dance just out of reach. The wind carried it further and further, and the children pushed themselves to run faster, hoping to catch it before it was too late. The kite landed in a tall tree, its bright colors now tangled in the branches. The children skidded to a stop, their breaths coming in heavy pants as they looked up at the kite, now stuck high above them. It was a beautiful sight, but also a frustrating one. They had worked so hard to get the kite up in the air, and now it was trapped, out of their reach. It was stuck. "How will we get it back?" wondered Tom, his brow furrowed in thought. The children gathered around the base of the tree, looking up at the kite with a mixture of determination and worry. They knew they had to come up with a plan, but the tree was so tall and the branches so high. It seemed like an impossible task, but they were not ready to give up just yet. Lily and Tom felt sad. They sat down on the grass, their shoulders slumped in defeat. The other children joined them, and for a moment, they all sat in silence, staring up at the kite. It had been such a wonderful day, and now it felt like it was ruined. But as they sat there, they began to talk, sharing their ideas and thoughts on how they might get the kite back. "What do you think Lily and Tom should do?" They looked at each other, their faces filled with determination. They knew they couldn't give up. They had to find a way to get their kite back. They began to brainstorm, thinking of all the possible ways they could reach the kite. Maybe they could climb the tree, or use a long stick to try and knock it down. They even thought about asking an adult for help. "Can you help them think of a plan?" The children huddled together, their voices filled with excitement as they shared their ideas. They knew that with a little bit of teamwork and creativity, they could find a way to get their kite back. They just needed to keep trying and not give up. What would you do if you were in their shoes? How would you get the kite down from the tree? The adventure was just beginning, and the children were ready to face it head-on. Just then, a little robin flew by. "Tweet, tweet, what's wrong?" she chirped. Lily and Tom told her about their kite. "Don't worry," chirped the robin. "I know who can help. Follow me." The robin led them deeper into the meadow. Who do you think the robin knows? What will happen next? They came to a big oak tree. In the branches sat a wise old owl. "Hoo-hoo, what brings you here?" he hooted. The robin explained about the kite. The owl listened carefully. He closed his eyes and thought for a moment. What do you think the wise old owl will say? Do you think he has an idea? "I know just the one to help," hooted the owl. He pointed to a branch above. The forest was alive with the sounds of chirping birds and rustling leaves. The wise old owl, known for his keen eyesight and wisdom, had spotted a potential helper. His eyes twinkled as he looked up, knowing that the solution to the problem was just a few branches away. A little squirrel peeked down. "Squeaky, can you help?" asked the owl. The squirrel, known as Squeaky, was a small but agile creature with bright, curious eyes. He had a reputation in the forest for being able to climb the tallest trees and navigate the trickiest branches. Squeaky tilted his head, listening intently to the owl's request. He was always eager to help his friends in the forest. Squeaky the squirrel was very good at climbing. He could reach the highest branches. With a flick of his bushy tail, Squeaky began his ascent. He moved swiftly and gracefully, his tiny paws gripping the bark with ease. As he climbed higher and higher, the view of the forest below became more breathtaking. The other animals watched in awe, knowing that Squeaky was their best chance at retrieving the lost kite. Do you think Squeaky will help Lily and Tom? Lily and Tom were two children who often played in the forest. They had been flying their colorful kite when a sudden gust of wind had carried it high into the branches of an old oak tree. They looked up hopefully at Squeaky, their eyes filled with anticipation. They knew that if anyone could retrieve their kite, it was Squeaky. "How do you think he can reach the kite?" Squeaky paused for a moment, assessing the situation. The kite was tangled in a particularly tricky spot, but Squeaky was undeterred. He carefully planned his route, knowing that one wrong move could send him tumbling. With determination in his eyes, he began to make his way towards the kite. The children and the owl watched with bated breath, hoping that Squeaky's cleverness and agility would save the day. Section 6. The Rescue Mission. Squeaky scurried up the tree. He climbed quickly and carefully. Soon he reached the branch where the kite was stuck. Squeaky nibbled on the kite string. He nibbled and nibbled until the string broke. The kite floated down. How do you think Lily and Tom feel now? What will they say to Squeaky? Section 7. A Happy Reunion. Lily and Tom cheered. They caught the kite gently. "Thank you, Squeaky," they cried. "You saved our kite." Squeaky scurried down the tree. He was happy to help. The robin chirped happily. The owl hooted with glee. What do you think Lily and Tom will do next? Will they fly their kite again? Section 8. Celebration in the Meadow. Today we find ourselves in a vibrant meadow where the sun is shining brightly and the air is filled with the sounds of laughter and joy. The meadow is alive with the energy of children and animals, all coming together to celebrate a beautiful day. Lily and Tom, two adventurous children, decided to fly their kite once again. The sky was a perfect shade of blue, and the gentle breeze made it an ideal day for kite flying. They had tried many times before, but today felt different. They were determined to make their kite soar higher than ever before. This time, they held on tight to the string, their faces filled with determination and excitement. As they ran across the meadow, the kite began to lift off the ground, catching the wind and rising higher and higher. The children's laughter echoed through the meadow as they watched their kite dance in the sky. They laughed and played in the meadow, their joy infectious. Other children joined in, and soon the meadow was filled with the sounds of happy voices and the sight of colorful kites dotting the sky. It was a day of pure, unadulterated fun, where worries were left behind and only the present moment mattered. The robin sang a happy song, perched on a tree branch overlooking the meadow. Its melodious tune added to the symphony of sounds that filled the air. The children paused for a moment to listen, their faces lighting up with delight at the robin's cheerful melody. The owl hooted a grateful tune, its wise eyes watching over the meadow. It was as if the owl was expressing its appreciation for the joyous scene unfolding below. The children waved at the owl, and it responded with another hoot, making them giggle with glee. Squeaky, the playful squirrel, scampered up a tree, watching them play. It chattered excitedly, as if cheering them on. The children noticed Squeaky and waved, and the squirrel responded with a series of happy squeaks. It was a moment of connection between the children and the animals, a reminder of the harmony that exists in nature. As the day drew to a close, the children gathered in a circle, reflecting on the day's events. "What did you learn from this story?" one of them asked. They shared their thoughts and feelings, realizing that the day had taught them valuable lessons about friendship, teamwork, and the simple joys of life. "Why is it important to help others?" another child asked. They discussed how working together had made their kite fly higher and how helping each other had made the day more enjoyable. They understood that cooperation and kindness were key to creating happy memories and strong bonds. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the meadow, the children waved goodbye to their animal friends and each other. They promised to return soon for more adventures and celebrations. The meadow, now quiet, held the echoes of their laughter and the promise of more joyful days to come. Section 9. A New Friendship. From that day on, Lily and Tom often visited the meadow. They brought treats for Squeaky and played with the robin. They learned that even though they were different, they could all be friends, and they knew that helping others always made them happy.